Hey kids, welcome back to another school year and welcome back to the art room. For those of you guys that don't know me yet, my name is Mrs. Meskey and I'm going to be your art teacher this year. And this is our art room. Very colorful, lots of fun stuff to do in here, and we're going to learn a lot of really cool things this year. Before we get started with the whole making art process, I wanted to go over with you guys some rules and procedures. And the first thing that we do or follow in the art room is AIM. AIM is our school-wide rules that we have adopted, and AIM stands for always be respectful, I solve my own problems, and make responsible choices. Pretty much everything that you do will fall under one of those three categories. And you can ask yourself, are you being respectful? Are you solving your own problem, or are you making a responsible choice? If you are, then you are doing really great. Now, some of the procedures for our art room. When you come to art, every 3 or 4 days, depending on what your rotation is, you're going to line up outside of the door. And I will come to the door and welcome you in. When you walk into the classroom, you are going to find your table. Now, at some point, you will have assigned seats. Not today, because it's a lot to do in one 30-minute time block. So, you'll go ahead, find your table, and you might notice that there are little cards hanging above the tables. Those are our table numbers. So we have 8 tables in here, and that means there are 8 teams because every table is a team. And if you are at that particular table, the people that you are with are people that you are working as a team with. You will get supplies as a team. You will clean up as a team. And on some occasions, you might even create as a team. Now, when you are in here, it's the art room. Sometimes it gets very noisy. And we try to keep it at an inside level voice, but it's exciting sometimes. And when you've got 30 kids in a classroom that are all talking at the same time, it can get really loud. Now, we do have 2 classes next door to us that are usually learning at some point during the day. So we want to make sure that we are not the crazy classroom that everybody hates to have around. If it gets too noisy in here, you will probably see me at some point in the classroom putting my 2 fingers up in the air like this, and I will say, "May I have your attention, please?" Now, when you hear that, I want you to stop what you're doing and put 2 fingers up in the air and give me your attention because I have information for you, or I need to redirect. It needs to quiet down. Why 2 fingers? Well, if it's loud, you might not hear me say, "May I have your attention, please?" But if you see me standing there with 2 fingers up in the air, it's a pretty good indication I need your attention. So that's how we do that. Now, when you come to the art room, I do expect that you use the restroom before you come. We only have 30 minutes in here for sitting down, getting started, creating art. So if you have to go to the bathroom, that's wasting valuable time making art. Now, if there's an emergency, that's okay. I get it. But I am going to ask you, is it an emergency? If you can wait about 5 minutes, it's not. If you do need to use the restroom, you're going to walk over here to the door, and underneath the googly eyes, you're going to see a sign-out sheet. I want you to write your name and the time that you left. You'll take a pass with you, go to the bathroom, wash your hands, and return. When you return, please write the time that you got back to the classroom on that sheet. That tells me that you're back. And we need to do that because I don't have you guys all day, every day, so I'm not going to know if you're here or you're not. And if there's an emergency or a fire drill or something like that, I need to know who's here and who's not so I can make sure to account for that. Now, at each of your tables, you will notice a different colored dot. Those dots are there because they help us decide who has what job. You might be sitting at a green dot, and that day I might say, hey, green dots, will you get the supplies for everyone at your table? And that would be their job. If nobody's at the green dot, the person closest to the green dot will get the supplies. And that's kind of how we share responsibility in the classroom. Projects. We're going to do some really fun, exciting projects this year. But one of the most important things about projects is remembering to write your name on them. Because without your name, I am not going to have any idea who it belongs to. So, on the back of your paper, every time you get a piece of paper, I want you to write your name and your teacher code. Your teacher code is your grade. So if you're in second grade, it would be 2. And the first letter of your teacher's last name. So if you're in Mr. Valala's class, your teacher code is 2V. You'd write your name on the paper and 2V, only if you're in Mr. Valala's class. And that works the same way with all of the classes in this building. That helps me because I have 600 students, and I'm not going to remember who's in what class and whose artwork goes where. So it's just really helpful for me to grade artwork and get it back to you so you can take it home. Now, sometimes when you're in class, you're going to finish, and you might finish before anybody else does. And then what? Well, you have a couple of options. Number 1, you can make another project. Maybe you had a good time doing the first one, you're going to do the second one even better. Number 2, you can read a book quietly. We have a huge selection of books that are art related or about artists. You could free draw. I do have a large selection of how to draw books, and I have free draw paper. Something that you like to do, you can go create your own artwork. Another option would be to play a game. I do have a shelf full of art games that you could quietly play with somebody else who is finished. Finally, there's jobs you could do. If you want to help out in the classroom, we always need some sort of cleaning done. So those are things that you could do once you're finished. Wandering around the room, distracting others from finishing their projects, that's not on the list. So, not what we're going to do. Oh my goodness, I can't even think if there's anything else. Maybe you can think of something. I think that might be it for now. I will get your seating charts for you very soon. And welcome back. I'm very excited to see what you guys have brewing up in the brain you've been creating over the summer or going to create this year. Have a great year, you guys. Bye.